Hello dear students, welcome to my channel Kaveri Science Tutorials. Today we are going to see the next part of the chapter, that is gravitational waves, and then we will see the important part, that is what is mean by free fall. Okay? So gravitational waves are the similar to other waves are there. Other waves are there like infrared waves are there, X-rays, gamma rays, and different types of light is also a type of wave. It is called as a light. We have studied that light is an electromagnetic wave. So different types of waves are there, and in that types of waves, one more type is that waves are called as gravitational waves. So Einstein has detected these waves in 1916. He detected the appearance of the presence of gravitational waves, and he means scientists studied that they are very weak types of waves, and it is very difficult to detect that waves. So in one observatory is there, that is laser interferometric gravitational waves observatory, which can detect the and study the gravitational waves. So many Indian scientists have contributed to the study of these gravitational waves and detection of these gravitational waves. So this is about the gravitational waves. From this part, you are asked one question for examination, and that which type of force following from the following is the weakest force. So your answer should be gravitational force is the weakest force. So different types of forces are given: electrostatic force, gravitational force, and other two. And two options are there. So you have to find answer, and your answer should be the gravitational force is the weakest force, because the gravitational waves are the weak waves. So the force is also weak force in nature. Being a weak force, it can means determine the fate of the means the fate of the universe. Whole universe is dependent on this force. Okay, so these are weak types of force, but this universe is depending on this type of force. So this is about the gravitational waves. So the next part of the chapter is free fall. खूप वीक टाइप्सच्या वेव्ज आहेत, त्याच्यावरती युनिव्हर्सचं फ्युचर डिपेंड आहे. पण काय फॉलोइंग विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज द वीक फोर्स असं जर विचारलं तर तुमचा आन्सर पाहिजे की ग्रॅव्हिटेशनल फोर्स इज द वीकेस्ट फोर्स इन द नेचर. ठीक आहे. सो this is about the and gravitational field is there. Gravitational field is surrounding the earth, and that gravitational field waves are present in that gravitational field. As we go away from the field, the force of gravity decreases. Okay. So the next is free fall. When an object falls only under the influence of gravitational force alone, then it is said to be in free fall. Under the influence of gravitational force alone. So the word alone is important here. So no other force is acting on that object, then it is said to be in free fall. When an object falls freely only under the influence of gravitational force alone, no other forces, then the object is said to be in free fall. We are holding one stone and we are releasing that stone, and when we release that stone is falling under the gravity influence of gravitational acceleration and the force and the gravitational force, and the stone falls freely, but there is a frictional force and buoyant force of the air that opposes the speed of the velocity of the that falling stone. Therefore actual free fall is possible in vacuum only. Actual free fall is possible in vacuum only. So this one experiment is done, that this is asked for MCQ question. So actual free fall is possible in vacuum. So in dash dash. So your answer should be in vacuum. So then when there is no air is present in the atmosphere, then the actual free fall is possible. If the air is there and the object is opposed by that frictional force and buoyant force of the air, then the free fall is not possible. Not possible. Then it is not said to be free fall. When only the gravitational force is alone acting on the object and no other force is there, means in vacuum only gravitational force is vacuum only the free fall is possible. So when for fill in the blanks it is asked that, so actual free fall is possible in dash dash. So actual free fall is possible in vacuum only. Okay, so one experiment is done on this. काय आहे की एक फीदर घेतला सायंटिस्टने आणि एक स्टोन घेतला. सो वन फीदर इज देअर अँड वन स्टोन इज देअर अँड दे आर रिलीज फ्रॉम अ सर्टन हाईट. सो these two objects, the stone reaches the ground first and the feather reaches later than the stone. So why this happens? Because the buoyant force of air acting on the stone is less, or frictional force of air is acting on the stone is less as compared to the feather. Due to heavy weight of the stone, the buoyant force is less than the feather. Acting on the buoyant force and frictional force are less as compared to the feather. Stone reaches the ground because it is having heavy weight than the feather. So both are experiencing the frictional force of the air or buoyant force of the air, but the it is less in case of stone and it is more in case of feather because the weight of the feather is less. So there is a more force, opposition force of the air is more on the feather. So this is about the free fall. But when this these two things, means feather and stone, they are a vacuum is generated like this, and a vacuum jar is generated, and in that vacuum jar, vacuum condition, suppose like this, a jar is there and all the air is removed from that vacuum condition, from the vacuum pump, and from that holding for the stone and feather is made. Suppose here is a feather, है ना? Suppose it is the feather and the stone. So this is the feather and the stone is there, and holding, they are hold and they are released from the in the vacuum condition. So they fall on the bottom, or the bottom of the jar at the same time. Means they are falling at the same time in case of vacuum. In case of vacuum, they both fall on the same time. Therefore, no frictional force and buoyant force of air is not present in the vacuum. Therefore, both the things, they are whether they are having different weights, they fall at the same time. ठीक आहे. एक एक्सपेरिमेंट केला होता सायंटिस्टनी, एक फिदर घेतला, एक स्टोन घेतला. ते दोघे एका हाईट वरून आपल्या समजा बाल्कनीतून आपण सोडले. स्टोन आधी खाली येतो बिकॉज इट इज हेवी वेट आणि फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स एअरचा त्याच्यावर कमी, त्याच्यावर ऍक्ट होतो फ्रिक्शनल एअरचा फोर्स, बट इट इज लेस ऍज कम्पेअर टू स्टोन फिदर. ठीक आहे. फिदरचं वेट हे लेस असल्यामुळे त्याच्यावरती काय होईल, जो फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स आहे तो मोर ऍक्ट होईल आणि फिदर लेट येईल as compared to stone. But in case of vacuum, when the scientists release the both objects in the same time, they fall on the ground on the same time because there is no force of air, no buoyant force, no frictional force of air is present in case of vacuum. So this is about the free fall. So this is about the free fall. So we will repeat the definition. Free fall is when an object is falling only under the influence of gravitational force alone, then it is said to be in free fall. Okay, so that is about for a freely falling stone. That stone is falling like this, and the initial velocity is 0. Initial velocity of the stone is 0 and acceleration acting on the stone is g. As the we know that आपण जेव्हा ऍक्सेलरेट करतो आपलं व्हेकल, स्पीड त्याची वाढते, तसंच ड्यू टू acceleration due to gravity, the speed of the stone increases and the velocity of the stone increases. So the velocity, so when the stone is released from a height, the velocity of the stone increases due to acceleration due to gravity. And we can write for the object in free fall, v is equal to at and s is equal to 1 half uh, gt square. Here you can write, instead of a we can write g, and then ut is 0, u is 0, therefore we can directly write. And third equation for newtons, and u square is again 0, v square is equal to 2gs. So being u is 0, we can write directly the formula like this. For v it is gt. First equation, v is equal to u plus at, instead v is equal to gt, s is equal to ut plus 1 half gt square, but instead of that we can directly write 1 half gt square. And for third equation, u square is 0, therefore v square is equal to 2gs. So these are the conditions for the free fall object in free fall. So when the moon and the other artificial satellites, they are revolving only under the gravitational field of the earth, therefore we can say they are in free fall. There is no other force acting on them, therefore they are only under the influence of gravitational field of the earth, therefore we can say moon and other artificial satellites are in free fall. So that is the last line of the your textbook in explaining the free fall. So this is about the uh, free fall. It can be asked for short note, and it can be asked for writing the definition also. So that is all about the free fall and gravitational waves. Stop कर.